everyone, I'm Count Zero. Now, my original plan for the review this week was to do a review of the game Peter Jackson's King Kong from Ubisoft. This was a launch title for the Xbox 360, and it's a game I was interested in checking out, basically just to see how it compared to other launch titles and other systems in terms of, does it not necessarily take advantage of the full range of the Xbox 360's capability? How would it handle, how would it handle just its presentation? Would it show some of the potential of what the system was capable of doing and is capable of doing? Or would it just kind of fall flat and look very much like a last-gen game? And play like a last-gen game? As far as I got in it, I didn't beat the game. It did look like very much like a last-gen game. Narrative wasn't very well done, but honestly, I wasn't able to get the full picture of it because it failed my lockup test. The lockup test is basically a test where I play the game, and as I do always, but if the game locks up, it automatically fails the test. If I have to restart my console because your game is locked up and crashed on me, then your game is not worthy of being played. It's not a finished game. You should have put it through testing a little longer. So, in a nutshell, don't play the game. It gets shot. So, with that taken care of, next question is, what am I going to review this week? Because I gotta review something. Well, so I just stepped into the realm of film reviews, and I decided to pick the film 9 Songs. Because it was on Netflix streaming, it was short. It's 66 minutes long. I'm not going to be doing video interlacing with this review because I am not accustomed yet and gotten the hang of handling censoring video as far as covering up naughty bits for just general protection purposes and stuff for following terms of service. And to be absolutely honest, this film is bad. And this film has lots of sex in it. Lots and lots of sex. It has a plot. It follows Matt, a British climatologist, and Lisa, an American exchange student, as they go through a torrid relationship over the course of a year in Britain. Well, they say it's a year. There's not really anything in the film to provide any sense of chronology at all. In terms of, this could take place over the course of a month. It could take place over the course of 2 weeks. And this wouldn't change any of the film ever. At all. And the title of the film comes from the fact that the main characters go to lots of concerts. There are 9 songs represented almost but not quite in their entirety over the course of the film by various acts like the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, Primal Scream, the Dandy Warhols, and Franz Ferdinand. And these are presented mostly by the characters being at a concert and with the cameraman having an audience member's perspective on the stage performance. So you're at ground level or up in the seats in the case of one concert. And that's that. It's not a concert film by any means, and these scenes aren't presented like a concert film. They're just kind of there. As for that matter are the film's prolific sex scenes. If I was to describe the film, its pacing in a nutshell, it is, Matt and Lisa go to a concert. Then they have sex. Then maybe they have sex again, then go to a concert. Then they go on vacation, and they have sex. And then come back and go to a concert. And on for 66 minutes, which is probably the longest 66 minutes I've ever experienced in my life. The concerts aren't very well presented. Concert sequences aren't very well presented. The sex scenes aren't very well presented. They start, and they stop partway through, or they start in the middle and make it to the end. It's not good. I'm going to say straight up, this is a film which could only be improved through a porn parody. Because the porn parody would have to be funny. Would have to try and add some humor to this. And because it's a porn parody, they'd have to actually give the sex scenes, if not context, at least more to them. As opposed to just kind of... As opposed to, all of a sudden, oh, now they're doing it. Okay, now they stop. Now we're seeing something else. Now we're doing it somewhere else, but we're not going to see where they're coming in the middle. It's not good. The scenes are poorly shot. They're passionless. They're emotionless. There's no. They have less emotional content to them than actual porn. It really isn't a good film. And perhaps what's most disappointing to it is the fact that, because to some degree the length of the film works against it. I don't know if it was a deliberate choice of the director of, I'm going to make my movie in just over an hour, limit myself to approximately an hour, give or take a few minutes, but I feel like if you just put half an hour of additional time into this film and made it just additional relationship development, you'd have a better movie. There's much more that could have been done they lose by limiting to this length. I really don't know where this movie, and this is also a film where I really can't tell where the movie's budget went. Almost. I mean, the actors are more or less no-names, which is fine. And we give a certain degree of, you're not watching Brad Pitt in a relationship, you're watching an ordinary person in a relationship, if we had a relationship. And the concerts, there's not a lot of elaborate camera work in the concert footage. It's just, from the audience perspective, which I can kind of see an artistic reason for doing that. But altogether, put together, the whole doesn't work. The one thing where I can see where they spent so much money on, and possibly explains why maybe they had to cut the movie so short, is they establish Matt as being a climatologist, and that at some point he goes to Antarctica. He goes to Antarctica, and they take a film crew and the actor to Antarctica. And I can't help but feel that that's where the budget went. They blew their money on going to Antarctica and shooting a handful of scenes, which are basically Matt walking out in the snow with voiceover narration, talking about Antarctica and occasionally about the relationship, but more about Antarctica. In fact, there's more dialogue about Antarctica here than there is about the relationship. And that's basically this film in a nutshell. It's a film about a relationship which doesn't talk about the relationship. It's a film about music that badly presents the music. And it's a film about sex that badly presents the sex. This film fails on every regard. And this is really one of the films where there's some films which are too long, which are much longer than they really have any need to be. But this is a film that is far shorter than it had any right being. And honestly, I have no reason, and there's no reason I can think of for anyone wanting to see this film. If you want to watch it for the sex, there's porn. You can probably get better presentation there. If you want to watch it for the music, go on YouTube, look up music videos for the related artists. You can find the names of all the artists on the Wikipedia page for the film, and you can probably find videos for them online, or somebody's put the tracks online on YouTube, or they're on Last.fm or somewhere else, and you can listen to them that way. If you're interested in a romantic drama, there's better films about that. There's hundreds of much better romantic dramas than this. So, with that said, I don't have a physical disc for this, since I got it from Netflix streaming, so I can't shoot that. So, that just leaves the TV. And with that, I'm Count Zero, And I will see you next time.